the end of regulation, was that designed for Bryce to take that shot on the baseline?
Fran, it's the third time in 4 games you've gone to the last possession of a game, a chance to tie or win. What do you say to your team in a situation like that?
Well, I thought, you know, today, Rick, I thought we executed fairly well in those situations. We got good looks at it. We got a good shot in the tip. We got a great shot there at the end of overtime, and then a rebound. So I think what you want in that situation is to feel like you have a chance. And I thought Wisconsin, we did. Overtime was not as good as we would have liked. Tonight was better. Just didn't win.
What was the explanation you were given about Cartwright's 3 there at the end of the half? That didn't.
Yeah, it was still on his fingertip.
You know, it comes down to, you know, when you analyze this, you know, Morgan gets a big offensive rebound, 52% shooter makes both. I mean, it just seems like every play is going against you.
To his credit, I mean, we said if he gets a rebound or if he has the ball near the basket, you got to chop him, make him earn it. Don't let him lay it in. So that's what Bryce did, and the kid made both with a timeout in between. So you got to give the kid credit for that.
You really got into your players a few times today. Is it just you're at a point in the season where you're expecting a little bit more at this point?
And you know, it's interesting because what they do is when I get into them, they respond. You know, and sometimes you have teams that you get into, and it makes it worse. So you got to know your team. And this team, I felt, needed me to get into them, and they played better. So give them credit.
The decision to start Devin, was that just to try to shake things up a little bit?
The decision to start Devin was made because I thought it would benefit Eric May. I thought he'd been struggling, pressed it a little bit at the start of the game, and I just felt like if he could take a look at it, come into game, defend Morris, I thought he was pretty good. I thought he played well, Eric May. I was pleased with his play, with his effort. I just thought he would settle down a little bit coming off the bench.
Hardaway has a good game, but he let the game kind of come to him, as Coach Beeline said. You watch him, you kind of see him blossom, can't you?
Oh, he's one of the best players in our league. He is. And he had that one stretch where his team really needed him to step up, and he did that. So, you know, you have to give him a tremendous amount of credit because some other guys weren't making shots there. He needed to be the guy. And we lost him a couple times, and that was, you know, part of my rant. But at the same time, he had to go make the shots, and he made them.
Were you pleased with your three-point shot selection today?
Yeah, I was.
When Hardaway's shooting the way he does, is there any way a defense can stop him?
Well, what you have to do is you gotta. The problem with that is they have so many other guys who are capable, and so if you run at him or double him, you know, his size enables him to get rid of it and find people, and they do as good a job as anybody. And if he gets rid of it, they make the extra pass. They find that next open shooter. So you're a little reluctant sometimes to double him. You know, we could have switched on him and just contested that way. A couple of times I thought Jared was going to do it. He didn't. He was worried about the roll. So it's not easy to cover that kind of action when you have so many shooters on the floor. But he made some tough shots too.
At the end of overtime, was that set up for Zach, or was it just whoever was open to take the three?
Well, you know they're going to switch. And, you know, we kind of felt like we needed a 3. You know, we weren't going to take 2 and then try to foul or get a steal. I mean, I just felt like at that point, let's go for 3 if we get a clean look. Because if you get it in, you still have 5 dribbles in a shot. You don't have to shoot it on the catch. And we ran some action. I mean, he couldn't have been more open. So I feel bad for him. They wanted to make it. Great kid. He wanted to make it. He was open. He's a good shooter. And it didn't go in, and we went and got a rebound, got another shot. So we give the kids credit for fighting all the way to the end.
Bigger picture type question, how do you get from 3-12 at this stage in a Big Ten season to being a first division contender and maybe be...
It's not that far. It is not that far. We are right there. And I've said that from the beginning. I've been in both places before. And I know what it's like to be at the bottom of our league and play the first place team in our league, lose on a tip-in at the buzzer in overtime, and miss the last shot in a one-point game. And I know what it's like to be in first place and struggle to beat the last place team, both at home and on the road. We're right there. We got a lot of people back. We got some good players coming, and we'll be fine.
You have a week off now between games. Is it coming a good time for you, for the team, to
Or would you rather keep?
Well, yeah, we had some tough games in that stretch. I mean, we just had, late Thursday game and a Saturday afternoon game. But we battled and our intensity level was good, so I think we need a couple of days right now to step back. We got a couple of guys that are nicked up, get them in the training room, get them with some ice and get ready for the next one.